I'm coming to you today with more dreams from the Most High. But first, I'm going to read Mark chapter 1, verse 3. The voice of one crying in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of the Lord, make his path straight. The first dream that I'm going to start with, it's a dream of one of my testimonies. It's a dream that the Most High gave me so that I could turn from my wicked ways and turn from what I was doing, turn from the path I was on, turn from the way I idolized people. So in this dream, I can remember it was a lot of us within this dream. There's a lot of people. Some I knew from churches I went to, some I didn't know. There were very few people who had on white. I was one of the people who had on white. And so in this dream, I recall seeing some people from a church I went to in Ohio, and none of them had on white. And so within the dream, we're all standing around, and I'm going around trying to figure out a way to get these people who did not have on white to go through this gate. And so I'm outside the gate. It was kind of like this door that automatically it opened, because the people who had on white, we had this bracelet on our legs that opened the door, and we had on white. And so I was outside the door trying to figure out a way to get these people in that didn't have on white, but it was obvious that these people did not belong within the gates. And so, but just like I said before, the Most High was showing me how I was idolizing people. And so within the dream, I'm patting people on the back saying, it's okay, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. The Most High, he hasn't left you, and all these things. And so I can recall as I'm talking to the people and trying to basically make them feel good, like the feel good messages that a lot of our preachers give us within churches, a good emotional feel good at the moment message. And so there were people that there were family members and people from other churches that I felt bad for. So what I did was I would walk up to the gate so it opened, and then I would tell the people run in. Then I would back away and go get more people. And so there was this one girl I remember, I was trying to figure out a way to get her in by herself. And so finally I'm just like, come on, let's go. And so I walk up to the gate, it opens, and as we walk in, I look in, and there was like this long dinner table, and there were people sitting there, but there were only very few people that had on white. And I looked around, there were very few people had on white. Most of the people in this dream had on other colors, and I'm like, oh my goodness, did I just sneak all these people in? So I walked in, people with white was staring at me like, what does she think she's doing? How does she think she's sneaking people in? And so I walk in with my head down, and I kind of like hide behind some of the people I had just snuck in. And then all of a sudden, for some reason, I don't know why, I had pencils and pens in my back pocket. And the thing is, I'm a writer, and at this time, I wasn't writing to tell the people the dreams or the visions, or writing to tell the message that the Most High was telling me to tell them. And so I was being a rebellious servant, basically, because the Most High showed me and told me the ways to bring his people back to him, back to his laws, his commandments, his statutes, his precepts, his his ordinances, his ways, his laws, which are all his testimonies of how he brought us all out of Egypt. So, and I wasn't using that gift. But so right after I went into this, through the gate within the courts, it seemed like, or the wedding feast, I realized I had snuck most of the people in, and people who were supposed to be there, earned the right to be there, that had on white, were angry at me. And then I woke up. So it's like the Most High showed me that I shouldn't be patting people on the back. I shouldn't be telling people it's going to be okay, it's all right, just because I don't want to hurt people's feelings. Because just like he told Ezekiel, don't be a rebellious messenger, don't be a rebellious prophet. Then, because if these people that he's sending us as messengers to warn, if he's sending us as people to warn, and we're not warning, and they die in their sins, then the bloodshed shall be on our hands. So I say all that to give a few other dreams. One of the other dreams that I had, first I'm going to read 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 through 5. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 through 5. This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of the Most High, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. So the dream that I'm going to talk about now, there was a dream I had. I didn't write this dream down, but I can remember as if it was yesterday. There's this dream, well, I can remember a portion of it. There was a dream that I had where there were people from a church, a certain particular church I went to in Ohio, and there were other people in this dream from a Bible college that I went to in South Carolina. So I recall walking up to these people. One set of people was the people from the church in Ohio. So as I'm walking like through this hall, place, it was a long hall, and I'm going to walk past these people from the church in Ohio, and I overhear them saying, "Oh, I would believe my pastor over the Most High. Oh, I would believe this leader over the Most High." And I'm like, wow. So I back up and I say, I become angry, and not only angry, I became frustrated. And I begin to ask them, what do you mean? And the Most High has been there for you. Remember when I started reminding them of things that he did for them, that I recall seeing him do for them. And they was like, nah, I believe my pastor over him. And I'm like, wow. So as I journey, there was a couple from the Bible college. And it seemed like they were out shopping for, I guess, a church service. And they were buying clothes and heels and things, dresses and suits. But they didn't believe the message from the Most High. Just like the group of people from the church in Ohio, they also didn't believe the message. They were more into the fashion and what the pastor was saying, that and what the bishops and the leaders of the churches and congregations were saying, that you're going to get a new house and you're going to get a husband and you're going to have this and you're going to have that. That's the life that they were believing. And so the other couple also were out shopping, and I'm watching them. They're buying things for a church service, but they weren't believing what was said at the service through the leader from the Most High. And then I woke up. But I woke up kind of frustrated and I was angry. And I'm like, wow, how can we, and really disappointed, because how can we literally say we trust our pastors, say that we trust our pastors and our leaders more than we trust the person who is given that gift to that pastor or that leader or that prophet or that teacher. We say we trust a man on this earth more than we trust the Most High and his Son who art in heaven. I woke up disappointed. Not only disappointed, I woke up ashamed, because we as a people, we all have been there at one point. Some of us might not have realized we've been there, and some of us might have realized. But it's kind of frustrating that after all he's done for us, and that after all he is doing for us and he will do for us, we still trust in man. We still trust in pastors and our leaders more than we trust in him. There's a couple more dreams. Another dream that I had. So there was a dream of this church that I've never been to this congregation though. And a lot of the people within this congregation I've never even seen. So, but within the dream, I was sitting in the back of this church building, and it was packed. It was a lot of people. And so I'm sitting far away at the back, maybe the last row, maybe the first or second to the last row. And as I'm sitting back there, I remember the choir getting up and singing, and then all of a sudden there was a group of women all over the church. A lot of them stand up like they were like a worship team in dance, like they worshiped through dance. They stood up, and one lady was holding her baby, and it was like a routine. It wasn't like real worship. It seemed like it was all planned, and it wasn't one by one getting up, worshiping the Most High. It was all planned. They all stood up at once, and it seemed like a routine, like dance from off of TV. And one lady was holding her baby, and they were all starting to do the exact same thing. And I'm standing back, and I'm like, wow. And I remember there was this song that they were singing. I can't recall the song now, but there was this song that was being sung as they were dancing. It was saying something about loving our Messiah, loving the Son, Yeshua. But it was literally the people who were up worshiping through dance showed that they looked like they probably they had other thoughts on their mind, basically. And then I heard the words of the Most High say to me, "Look at my people. Look at my people, for they forgot who I am. They forgot I was a husband to them. Their words speaks for me, but their hearts are far from me." I remember him saying that. I remember him saying, "Look at my people. They forgot me. They forgot that I was a husband to them. They even forgot my name. They forgot me. And then I woke up. Brothers and sisters, we all need to wake up. We literally need to wake up. It's so much going on in this world and this life. And it's like we're slumbering and we're asleep. We all need to do our part to wake each other up and warn each other. That's what love is. It's warning each other. It's not allowing each other to sit back and enjoy ourselves here on earth. No, that's not love. Love is not allowing our children and our spouse and our our enemies. We shouldn't even allow our enemies to be walking in false doctrine and allowing our enemies to head for a cliff. We should say, hey, watch out, be careful, don't do that. Turn back to the Messiah. Turn back to his commandments. For he said all throughout Scripture, if you love me, keep my commandments. Now that's love. If we loved him, we should keep his commandments. The last dream I'm going to tell in this video, it's a very short dream. I'm just going to tell what was said in the dream. Within this dream, this was a different church in the state of Ohio that I went to. Within this church, I had quite a few dreams in this particular church. There was a lot of witchcraft going on. I just say it plainly. I'm tired of beating around the bush. There was a lot of witchcraft going on. And so I don't know if they knew what they were doing, but it was a lot going on. And the only way I knew was through dreams. There was nothing I did right or wrong. I have no clue. I was as docile as everyone else. But what I do know is that the Most High showed me through dreams that there was a lot of wickedness going on in this certain church. So within this dream, I saw a couple women up at the altar, what we call the altar, in the front of the church, in the front of the church building, praying for others. And as they were praying, they were saying, it has to be this certain way. We can't do this. We can't do that. We have to pray exactly with how the pastor shows us. We have to do it this way. And then, so I'm looking like, what? That's control. That's basically control. And then I heard and I saw them looking at me, and they said, oh, Beverly must don't know that we're using witchcraft. And I'm like, what? And I woke up. I'm like, oh my goodness. Some of the people in these congregations do know what they're doing. And I had no clue. All I know is when I was going to the church, I was trying to figure out what is going on within these congregations and these churches. And within this certain church, I'm like, oh my goodness. And that actually woke me up to realize, oh my, there's spiritual wickedness in high places. There's spiritual wickedness going on within these churches. And I've been a part of it. That's what's shameful. We have all been a part of it because we have all been asleep at one point in our lives. Now it's time, if you're awake, wake others up. Wake them up to the truth, to the knowledge, to our Messiah, to the Most High. Help turn others back to him in these last and wicked and evil days. I thank you for listening.